Legend has it that one day, a new king will come who will use the power of the trident to put Atlantis back together again.
I had so much fun designing the world that you know, if it was daunting, it definitely didn't affect me in any way. Putting the actors through these really difficult and uncomfortable rigs to try and simulate, you know, the floating and moving throughout the underwater space, and then, you know, and using visual effects to kind of add in the hair and costume stuff like that. Anytime we shoot those scenes, they would just eat up the day, and they would take so long to get right, and they were just so difficult to do and so uncomfortable and painful for the actors as well. I feel so bad for them, but it was the only way we could kind of do to achieve the look that we were going for.
The amount of wire work that you're doing on this movie was really unparalleled. It's really, because you've never done a movie that's just all, well, not all, but certainly a lot of the storyline in underwater. It just hasn't been done. There's probably a reason for that, but we knew we were pushing the limits, and the stunt guys were no different. You know, they were pushing themselves. Without giving too much away, I mean, so much of my stuff, when you're totally underwater, of course you don't see the water, so you have to, so we would shoot what's called dry for wet, which is where we're literally hanging on wires and doing different kinds of stuff. So from that perspective, yeah, it was. And anytime you did get wet, of course, the costumes really aren't made to really be, sometimes you've got these big, huge costumes, and they get sort of waterlogged if you're coming in and out of the water. But, you know, high-class problems.
It's the exact spot that Volko gave me my first swimming lesson.
I already know how to swim.
Not even close. You have to forget all the teaching of the surface world. Go deeper. Uncover your Atlantean instincts.
Tried to stay as true to the comic book material, and you know, we all made this movie with a lot of passion and love for the property, and just we have a lot of respect for it, and so you know, once it's out there, it's out there.
He spent his entire life training to be the best.
My parents made me what I am. I am the protector of the deep.
Nicole was so incredible in that, you know, she comes into the movie, she's such a professional, and she just brings so much heart to the film. Because in a lot of ways, her character, the relationship of her character with her land husband, lover, who would go on to become Arthur's dad, you know, so they're the mum and dad. You know, their relationship is, to me, the beating heart of the film, and that was important to get right, because, you know, if I didn't get that right, I think, you know, the heart and the emotion would be lacking from the film, and I think a movie like this really needs that.
In this trident resides the power of Atlantis. In the wrong hands, it would bring destruction. But in the hands of the true heir, it would unite above and below.
The time has come for Atlantis to rise again.
We must stop him.
And how do you propose we do that?
By retrieving this.
I already got one of those.
We had James behind the lens, same DP as Conjuring, same producers. So, if anything, yes, it felt very comfortable, just like we were trying to like an old school movie studio where people, you have like a pen of actors and directors and they just do different genres. That's a little bit what it felt like.
Listen, I think Patrick is an amazing actor, and he's just like the coolest dude to work with. And you know, just and having someone that you've worked with and that you love just make the filmmaking process that little bit easier.
The war is coming to the surface, whether you like it or not.
From the top down, you know, James likes, you know, we like a pretty even-keeled set. So, and Jason, of course, has charisma for days. So he was always up for some fun. Watching the amount of physicality that he went through, I think it pushed him in ways that he, you know, he's done a lot of action before. I remember very early on him him sort of saying he does all his own stunts and this and that, and I thought, yeah, we're going to see how long that lasts, because it's just the amount of stunt work on this movie. I mean, it took a village. I mean, it really, really, really did. So about a month in, we were all very thankful that we had doubles and stunt doubles and people to help shoulder the load and do things that we couldn't do, that they've trained all our life for, because it was really pushing every department to the limit. And you know, and Jason's the kind of guy who wants to do everything, and so you do until you can't do anymore, and that's when the stunt guys can help out. So,
But what could be greater than a king?
A hero.